Okay. Can everyone see me? Okay, hey guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna introduce myself. Don't mind me. I'm a bit, ratchet right now. But information is information regardless. So my name is Rita Obi, and I am the founder of Corporate Black Girl 101. And I am taking over DC Now events page just for today to teach you guys how to land a dream job using LinkedIn. Now, even though that's the title, we're going to dive into a lot more. I'm going to try to make this the best 30 minutes of your life, okay? So I see more people are coming in. Hope everyone's having an awesome day. Thank you for joining. And my hope is that you walk away from this session transformed. And I guarantee you that, right? I guarantee you that. So, okay. All right. So I'm just going to begin, but I really have a strong feeling people are going to be tuning in little by little. So I just want to start off with, I'm going to cover 4 points. One is going to be the importance of building your career brand. The second is going to be, how to really build your presence using LinkedIn. The third is going to be, parts of LinkedIn, like having a pretty good damn summary, that about me section. And the fourth one is just how to research profiles of LinkedIn in order to help you advance. So don't worry, I'm going to list it out again. I'm going to be really straightforward as I dive into each topic. So just in case if you guys are taking notes, it'll be really straightforward and clear. Okay, hey guys, joining in. I see y'all joining in. Like I said, once again, my name is Rita Obi. I'm the founder of Corporate Black Girl 101. And basically, it's a professional development platform that uses career branding to help women throughout the United States, black women, or women of color throughout the United States and Nigeria and West Africa land their dream jobs. So it's interesting because although it's for black women, clients have been Hispanic women. I've had Southeast Asians. I've had Eastern Asians. I've had men. Because getting a job is getting a job. That information is pretty applicable to everyone. So feel free to follow our Corporate Black Girl 101 if you're really looking for tips on how to really position yourself as an expert in the professional world. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in. So, okay, the importance of building your brand. I have notes here, but I like to talk a lot. I think a lot of people forget to realize that in order for you to prove that you are the answer to an employer's problems, you have to position yourself as an expert, right? You can't say that you want a job in marketing, and when you're Googled or when they look at your profile on LinkedIn, or if they find you in some kind of search, there's nothing about you and marketing, right? So you have to be strategic with that. And in positioning yourself as an expert, you have to make sure that your brand is consistent offline and online. But because we only have 30 minutes, I'm going to talk about how to do it online real briefly. And you can do this with Google, right? Really, that could be creating a ton of articles, right, on a certain topic. So for example, if you want to, be in diversity and inclusion. Okay, maybe that's a field that you're really passionate about and you're trying to transition into that field. Why don't you start writing articles on diversity and inclusion, right? So that when you are searched for in a Google search, lots of your articles will pop up on diversity and inclusion. Okay, so an employer will be like, oh, this person is pretty knowledgeable about that. You can create a digital portfolio. How many of you guys have digital portfolios? I really believe that's something that a lot of individuals are missing. So with a lot of my clients, I help them create digital portfolios. I have one myself. And it's a great way to really showcase your work electronically. The misconception that a lot of people have is that in order for you to have a digital portfolio, you have to be like an architect or some sort of creative. I'm a public health professional and I have a digital portfolio, right? Because I specialize in grant management and I've done lots of research. It could be as easy as kind of just electronically having your proposals that you've drafted, having the URLs linked, the URLs maybe of major projects that you've done linked to that digital portfolio of yours, right? It's literally just a website with all your work. So if you don't have a digital portfolio, y'all are missing out, because it's a great way to showcase who you are before you even step into the room for an interview. So imagine you applying to a job, and sometimes they say, hey, send us your resume and cover letter via email, and then in the body you slip your digital portfolio link in. So not only do they have your resume and cover letter, they now have a preview of the work that you've done. You've already stood out in comparison to other candidates because you've given them a snippet, a piece, a taste of what you've done and what you do. Okay, and because of that, that's pretty outstanding. They see you in the shoes of, their employees and go, this is someone that goes above and beyond. So you want to leave that lasting impression, even if it's just via email. Okay, and then imagine what you can do when you get in the room. Okay, you can bring your iPad with your digital portfolio, or you can have a physical professional portfolio, and as you're going through your experiences, you showcase it to them. So that's another way of really building your presence digitally or online. But now, I cover the whole Google. I cover the having a digital portfolio. Like I said, if you don't have one, get your life. You need to get one. Okay, it's 2020. We digital now. Okay, it's not just about resumes and cover letters. Anyone can create a resume. People know that, okay? But it's less talking and more showing. And when you have a digital portfolio, you're showing them the biz, okay? But let's jump to LinkedIn, because that's what I want to talk about today, real briefly. It's a great tool. It's arguably the best tool when it comes down to advancing as a professional and building your professionalism, or just positioning yourself as an expert. And technically, it is a digital portfolio as well, because LinkedIn has some great features now where you can paste your URL to your digital portfolio, maybe a video you've done, kind of just showcasing some of the work that you've done. But one thing I've realized is that it's really underutilized, and so I just want to not highlight everything. I'm gonna touch on some of the things that you can tweak to kind of just make it look like something, right? To make it look like you're an expert in that field, right? Because remember, employees only want to hire experts. Nobody wants someone they're gonna have to train for 50 years. Okay, we want someone that can come and be the answer to our problems. Are you the answer to their problems? When you look at your resume and your cover letter, do you really look like the answer to their problems? Or do you like someone that can kind of just do what they need you to do? You don't want to be that person, okay? So the second point, right? So the first point, guys, that I covered was the importance of building your brand. And I said you can do it at Google. You can do it using your digital portfolio. You can do it using LinkedIn. I kind of gave you guys a summary. The second point is going to be increasing your professional presence on LinkedIn. Okay, that's the second point. I spoke about how it's arguably the best profile to build your professional identity on, right? And accelerate your job search. And now I'm going to jump into the pieces under this point. So for example, like your headline. A lot of people make mistakes with their headliner, right? So the purpose of a headline, right, is to get your story read when you look at newspaper articles. So when you look at your headline on LinkedIn, if you have a LinkedIn profile, and if you don't, you need to get one, what does your headliner say, right? And does it really accurately reflect the professional you aspire to be? So it can either reflect the professional that you are right now, if you're content with where you are professionally, or if there's a position that you're trying to pursue or a new field that you're trying to pursue. You want to position yourself as an expert in that field by really changing your headliner. So we can use marketing because it's easy. You're not, by default, LinkedIn automatically makes your headline the current job or position that you have. You really want to make sure that's not what's going on. But if I wanted to say, maybe if I wanted to be like in digital marketing or something, I would, put digital marketing strategist. I may even put, I'm not familiar with the marketing, y'all, but maybe even if I'm great with certain software, highlight that. Maybe that's something I'm really good at. Maybe a storyteller, if you're a storyteller, because they're, sometimes when you're, launching digital content, people want storytellers. You could put that there. Just kind of put the different aspects of who you are on your headliner, but make sure that it coincides with the career that you're seeking, right? So I say be strategic and basically do research on the field that you want to pursue. The mistake that a lot of people make is they say, I want to be an accountant. I want to be, a public health professional. They want to be. But what they fail to do is do research on those specific positions. do research on those specific positions. One thing you'll notice is if, for example, you want to be a project manager and you look at several different descriptions for a project manager, maybe in one of those major consulting firms, you'll notice that each job description has a lot of common duties or tasks that are required, right? And just by looking at those duties and tasks, you know that, these are basically the duties that capture the essence of a project manager at these companies. Why don't you take those keywords and slap them in your headliner? You know what I'm saying? Slap them in your headline. Like, don't overdo. Don't, if you know you never touched that software, if you don't do it, if you know you never touched it, right? Don't lie, because nowadays you have 5 interviews. So by the time you get to the phone interview, they can sense that you're lying. So don't lie. Okay, but you can just jazz it up a bit. Okay, so maybe you haven't done digital content marketing, but you've done marketing in some form or shape, right? Maybe for a small org, throw that on there, okay? Because that's the career you're trying to pursue. So you want to put that headline up so that your profile can be read. Because remember, what I said is you create this headliner so that your story can be read. Well, your profile is essentially your story. Also, LinkedIn is a job search engine, right? Not just for you looking for jobs. There are recruiters on there that they can type in something like looking for like digital marketing strategists in DC, right? And you want to pop up in that search. You want to make yourself visible. The only way you can make yourself visible in that specific field is by putting keywords in your headliner that'll make you pop up frequently. Okay, so that's what I want you guys to do. Be mindful of your headliner. Remember, the purpose of a headliner is not just to show that you're an expert in something. A lot of people do that. They put the whole world in their headliner, and it's not strategic. You're not going to pop up in anyone's search. For me specifically, I've gotten 3 job opportunities on LinkedIn. My first international gig, which was in Nigeria, was because I was on LinkedIn, but I'll talk about that later. Just really using it to my advantage and really just communicating with people. But back to the headliner. Get your headliner straight. Make sure your headliner is solid, okay? Guys, I almost forgot to say, guys, if you have questions, almost forgot this. There's a Q&A box on the left. Feel free to tap that. I'm new to this, so I don't really send a question, and I believe it's supposed to pop up. Let me see. I think I got one question now. How often do jobs search or ask for your LinkedIn page? That's interesting. That's a good question. How often do jobs search or ask for your LinkedIn page? That was the question. And sometimes, well, they don't tell you. You'll just see some random person looked at your LinkedIn page, or if you do have LinkedIn Premium, you can see who looked at your LinkedIn page. But sometimes it's not just LinkedIn. They'll just type your name in Google. And if you pop up on LinkedIn, if you pop up on Instagram, that's why you have to be mindful of the things that you post if you're really trying to elevate as a professional. If you don't care and you're good with where you are, then don't, hey, or just use another alias, right? Okay, so that's how you strategically create a bomb headline, so that you can pop up in any search. So if a recruiter is looking for someone, make sure that you pop up, and that's by using the keywords that are desired within that position, within that career, within that field. Okay, I'm repetitive. I just like to let it sink in. The next topic, I want to talk about having the About Me section. The About Me section. This is going to be pretty interesting. Guys, I'm about to school y'all right now and make it real simple. So if you got a pen and paper, I'm going to need you to take it out. The About Me section is almost like that tell me about yourself section, right? And I think that's a question a lot of people struggle with, right? And I'm going to give you guys a 4-step process. Basically, you can jazz it up later, but I'll start with the basics. I always say start with an adjective, right, that's desired in your field, right? So if you're going to say that you are I'm trying to use a producer, right? You're not going to say I'm a creative producer. That's so boring. Obviously, you're creative because you're a producer. But use something like I'm an independent, innovative producer. So use a adjective that is desired in your field, okay? I try to stray away from passionate. I'm still on the first line, y'all, right? So it's, what's your adjective? What's your job title? A lot of people, just because you are I'm trying to think of examples. Just because you're trying to think of something. Okay, just because you are a health educator doesn't mean you're not a public health professional. Your job title is you're a public health professional, depending on the kind of jobs you're trying to get. But you can feel free to throw yourself in as a health educator, but you really have to look at the bigger picture. What do you want people to look at you as? That's your job title. So your job title is not the actual title of your role or the current position you have. The job title is what you want people to look at you as, right? So I'm an innovative, detail-oriented public health professional. So we got the adjectives, now we have the job title. Okay, we still on the first line, y'all. Now, how many years of experience? Okay, so we got the adjectives, the job title, now we need your years of experience. What a lot of people do is they put the exact number of years. If you want to look like a boss, say plus, right? So if you know you have 6 years of experience, say over 5 years of experience. Don't say 6 years. You sound, if you have 3 years of experience, don't say 3 years of experience. Say over 2 years of experience. You're trying to position yourself like a boss. You're trying to position yourself as an expert. Okay, so you got the adjectives, you got the job title, now you got the years. Now here's the tricky part. We're still on the first line, y'all. Now, what is it that you do, right? What is the task or the thing that you perform, and what goal does it achieve? A lot of people just know, yeah, I'm a health educator, but I mean, what is it that you do? It's not, what helps you stand out from another health educator, or what helps an accountant stand out from another accountant is what they achieve. There you go. It's a difference, right? So are you saving us money? Like, how much have you saved for how many companies? Or is it that you just know how to create a spreadsheet? Like, I need you, right? So what is that thing that you do? So for example, I always say that, my thing is I liaise with industry experts and stakeholders to launch impactful health programs. That's my thing, right? I could just say that I liaise with stakeholders and industry experts, but no, that way, if someone is looking at your About Me section or even your career summary, y'all, and they see that as your first line, they're going to be like, oh, no, we're looking for someone who can partner with people to launch impactful health programs. So I want you, if you're a attorney, okay, it's not you're just an attorney. There's a specialty. There's a reason why people come to you specifically, right? It could be, and it has to be the achievement has to be something that's impactful. So whether it be saving millions of dollars, whether it be, building brands for companies, just something major. So I want you to ask yourself, what is the thing that you do, right? And what does it achieve? Literally, what is it that you do? In every field, the tasks are common, but it's not the task performed that makes you stand out. It's the goal achieved by that task that makes you stand out, right? So I'll use makeup artists. I know I've used like 5 different makeup artists, right? But because the outcome for each one is different. Maybe I get a soft beat, maybe I get a hard beat, maybe I get a harsh beat, or it's just different outcomes. So what are the tasks that you perform, and what does it achieve? Because that's what's going to make you stand out in comparison to other people within your field. That's literally the first line. So the first line is basically going to be made up of adjectives that are desired in your field, your job title, how many years of experience you have, and the task that you perform, that specialty that you have, and what it achieves. Now, I'll use myself as an example. I'm a, detail-oriented, innovative public health professional with over 12 years of experience in liaising with industry experts and stakeholders to launch impactful health programs. That is literally my first line, y'all. So I would really advise you guys to practice that. And then, honestly, moving on from there, you gotta just dive into your hard skills, right? You can say I'm well versed in hard skills, or like things that you are, you have to really get trained to do, like developing budgets, or working with certain software, right? And then after you finish that well versed in that hard skill line, now you take it to the soft skill line, right? And the soft skill is more communication, presentation. So you could say something like highly adept in conducting presentations and fostering relationships with sponsors to secure funding. Okay, and all of that, literally those 3 lines could be your about me summary. Okay, and this can be used as a career summary. And you need a career summary because a lot of people don't have career summaries, y'all, and y'all don't realize that employers don't have time to really dig into your resume. Your career summary is a snapshot of what you do and what that resume is going to elaborate on. If they cannot get that within your career summary, they are going to toss it. You hear that employers it takes them 6 seconds to really skim a resume. No one has time to really try to figure out, does this person do this? No, everything should be slapped right into that career summary. And also, this can also be used as your tell me about yourself description. If you use it in your tell me about yourself response, what you would do is you just elaborate on maybe the 2 projects that you've done, really major ones, but it'll coincide with your specialty. Okay, so I hope you guys got that down packed. Like I said, this is like a what time is it? I don't even know what time it is, but it's a short session, so I can't really get into the how you write it, how you lay it out, guys. Literally, I do this with clients. It's a session that we do. Because what it does is it gives you clarity of who you are as a professional. I tell people this all the time. You can job search till your eyes fall off, but if you lack clarity on who you are as a professional, okay, it will never be reflected in your resume. You won't know where to start in your job search. So really take the time. Oh, thank you, 7:55. So really take the time to figure out who you are. So for the next point, we've covered, the importance of building your brand. We've covered how to increase your presence on LinkedIn, cranking out a banging headline, and also creating a pretty damn good summary or about me section, okay? So now we're going to cover connecting with others. Oh, yes. Listen. Don't be shy on LinkedIn, y'all. Y'all gotta start friend requesting everybody, okay? I think people are getting crazy with LinkedIn. Now it's turning into some kind of Facebook. People are doing too much. People really trying to slide into DMs on LinkedIn. But stay professional, guys. Stay professional. And slide into those DMs to advance your career, okay? This is why it's important to have that career summary down locked, right? You can down packed. You can use that first line, because I think when you send someone a DM that's not your friend, you only have a few characters to use. If you had that first line down packed about who you are, how many years of experience you are, what your job title is, you can slap that in there and then explain that. And usually if you want to speak to people, I always say, don't just reach out to someone on LinkedIn and say, hi, I would love to talk to you. No. Let's try to avoid as much back and forth as possible. If you're serious, slap in that about yourself line. Who are you? Give it to me straight. And then if you have a time, if you want to talk to them next week, the next 2 weeks, hey, are you available Monday through Thursday after 8:30 p.m. within the next 2 weeks? Give it to them straight. You don't need to blow smoke up there, telling them they're great and amazing. These people already know that. But really go in there and you can request informational interviews. Sometimes it's hard for you to transition into a position because you're not as confident or because you lack knowledge. Well, LinkedIn, there are tons of people on there, and use that to your advantage so that you can, schedule an informational interview with someone and really ask about that position. And who knows, just based on that interaction that person you have, they may say, you know what, I know someone. That's actually happened to me before, but I didn't take the position. But they said I know someone just through an informational interview, guys. So I would really encourage reaching out to different people. Reach out. Go hard. But just make sure that line, that first about me line is solid, so that you can spit out who you are within a few characters, right? Because no one's going to go on your LinkedIn page and try to dig up who you are. And this is why your LinkedIn page needs to be solid, because if they do look at who you are, or this is why your presence needs to be built digitally, your professional presence, because if they do Google you after you request an informational interview, you want to give them an idea of, you want them to be impressed and know that you're someone that's serious. And this is also why I say you should have a digital portfolio, because if you're trying to slide into someone's DM, You don't need to do much talking. You slide that URL to your website in there, and they'll click on it, open it up, and they'll be like, why wouldn't I talk to this person? Let me give this person a try. So I want you guys to think like that. Think big like that. Also, one thing I want to mention is when I was in grad school, I remember I was really, I really didn't know how to navigate grad school and confused. I was like, am I going to get a job afterwards? And one thing I joined was a group on LinkedIn, and I actually got a virtual mentor. I asked her tons of questions, and she gave me some great advice on how to position myself as an expert after grad school in a certain health field. And people don't take advantage of that. Yes, they're strangers, but this platform is built for this purpose. So please take advantage of that. Please reach out to people. Don't be a stalker. Just come with it correct. So the last point, right? So I've covered, the importance of building your brand digitally online, increasing your presence on LinkedIn, covering the headlines, the About Me section. I talked about how you should connect with others. And the last point is researching other profiles to see what skills you may need to acquire. Now, when I say this, right, sometimes when you want a certain position, you're like, man, there's no way I could get that job. Ain't no way I could get that job. And then you go on somebody's profile, right, who has the job that you want. And then you look at their profile and you're like, wait, how did this person go from this to this? And sometimes that's a confidence booster. Yeah, stalk people's profiles, right? This is why it's important to see, those people have great headlines, because if you type in the keywords, they pop up and you're able to see their profiles, and you look at their history of work, and you're like, wow, this person went from being like a administrative assistant to running a whole division, right? And so it shows that it's possible for you. I got a funny story, and I wish I remembered the guy's name. I was just stalking a few pages on LinkedIn in 2017, and I actually saw a guy that worked at it's 8 p.m. Good, I'm getting off. I saw a guy that worked at Uniqlo. And Uniqlo. Let me tell you how he was like one of the producers for Power. I was like, how did you go from Uniqlo to Power? Right? But obviously this guy was probably just doing this part-time gig when his real dream was to really work in that industry, right? So anything is possible. Look at different profiles. Sometimes you may want a certain position and you want to acquire certain skills, right? But you don't know which skills to acquire. Look at other people's profiles who already have those positions. Kind of get a feel for where they went, what degree they got. And they're probably, this is also a way to even discover what companies hire people who are looking for those fields, because you'll see the jobs that those individuals have. So really take advantage of that. Okay, guys, it's 8 p.m. Man, I don't think I've ever done that so fast. It's 8 p.m. I really tried to get as much information out within 30 minutes. If you guys have any questions, like I said, there's one more. Is there one more question? Is LinkedIn free? Yes, LinkedIn is free. I try LinkedIn Premium. It doesn't even matter. Free. Don't the free one works for me. But guys, that's it. It's now probably 8:00 something. If you have any more questions, feel free to shoot me a DM at Corporate Black Girl 101. Follow us too if you have any questions. If you want to learn, right now I think we're covering how to ace the interview. Every week we're covering new topics. Join our mailing list. And really use this time during the pandemic to really reflect on the kind of future that you're seeking, what position suits you and your lifestyle. Be honest with yourself, and don't hesitate to reach out to those who can help you advance professionally, y'all. Okay, so thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. Have a good evening. Okay, should I do this?